Hi everyone, and welcome back to the Guest Life. So we are right out of water in the cabin, so today's video is going to be all about me pumping water from the lake up into the cabin. Our old system was having a few hiccups. We were only able to pump like maybe a quarter or a third of the tank, and the lines would end up freezing on us. We found out that there were a couple of issues leading to this problem. First being that the valve going into the cabin was long and metal, and it was quite narrow. So those three things weren't good for pumping cold water. It was ending up freezing. If we torched it, we were getting a little bit of luck, but it was just getting too frustrating and I wasn't having any luck with it. So my husband swapped that out for a shorter chunk of metal, as short as he could possibly go. And then that just goes straight into the PEX pipe, straight into the water filter. There's no funky angles, and we cut it down to be as short as possible. And the second issue, unfortunately, was our little pump itself. We had this little 12-volt pump, and we were excited about it because it's super easy to use. My husband just had it on a little piece of plywood with the deep cycle battery, and all I had to do was get my hole into the lake and I'd put this down, and then I could just hook up my little positive alligator clip and off she'd run. But it has, let's see if I can get this right. So this pump will pump 5 gallons per minute, and it has 50 feet of head pressure. So that's just being, it can pump up a 50-foot incline. Now we've swapped it out for our original pump, this gas powered pump. We've had this for a long time. This is what we've used in the summer to fill up the hot tub and whatnot. And it can pump 32 gallons per minute opposed to the 5, and 125 feet of head pressure opposed to the 50. So it's the whole concept of a faster river isn't going to freeze. It's not really that much more of a pain in the butt to use, just a little bit different to start, and it uses gas, obviously. I'm sure it's not going to make a whole bunch of a difference, but I do want to just do one step at a time while I'm doing this so that I don't have any freezing if I have residual water in the lines or anything. So I'm going to go punch my hole down at the lake first. We used to use an ice auger, but we ended up finding this really cool drill bit that just hooks up to our Makita drill. I could just punch a hole the exact size as the hose and it's perfect. This is what the bit looks like. And the drill does a really good job getting it down there. I've noticed that the bottom part of the lake, like the very last bit of ice, is a little bit tougher. There have been reviews of this bending and breaking, but I feel like as soon as I feel it getting a little trickier, I back off a bit and just kind of feather it and go really gently and try not to push it. It hasn't broken yet, and we've done several holes with it. It does a really good job. So first things first, I guess I better fuel up our little gas pump. But before I do that, I did want to show you guys this filter that my husband purchased recently. It filters water and contaminants out of the fuel. So if there is unknowingly a little bit of water or slush in the bottom of your jerry can, this is taking care of that. You really notice it, especially in these little motors. They're running a lot better since we've been putting everything through here. One thing that sucks about it is you can't tell how full things are. So sometimes I have overfilled things, but it's totally worth it. The nice thing about this filter as well is I don't get as much gas on my hand because I don't actually have to use that funnel. Oh. See, a little bit over spillage. Sorry. success. My first time pumping water up to the cabin. Now that it's pumping and it sounds like it's got a good flow, I'm just going to fill the rest of our containers in the cabin before I top this one up. Cheryl, you come over here with a little bucket and start filling up the Berkey and the Brita filter. That tank of gas is more than enough to fill the 100-gallon tank upstairs, but while I have the water flowing, I'm filling up the stove full of as much dishwater as I possibly can. We've got this extra bucket here for just easy access water when we're cooking and whatnot. And then I figured I'd do a load of laundry. The blue bucket's gonna have the rinse water in it, and I'm going to run one child a bath while the water's flowing. So I am gonna go fill up the gas just in case it runs out. Everyone, meet Pinto. She is busy helping with chores as usual. Can you hold this back for me? I just gotta choke it. So that's it for pumping water. I'm really stoked that it worked for me, actually. It's not really that big of a chore. It only takes about like, I don't know, 5 to 10 minutes to do the tricky part, which is setting up the pump and running the hose. I do have to be careful that it doesn't fill up too much, because when my husband did test out this system last weekend, the overflow couldn't keep up because the pump is too good. And we had a little pool party upstairs, which was really fun. So I'll have to keep going upstairs and peeking to make sure it's not overfilling, and then I'll just shut it off when it's just about full. Thanks so much for watching, everybody. Don't forget to like and subscribe. We'll catch you in the next video. Bye.